Hi guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today, as you can see in front of me, I've got a bunch of Glocks and Glock style pistols, and I have some T-Rex Arms holsters that I got. This one was bought directly from T-Rex Arms in America before they stocked them in the UK, and these three were all picked up from Tactical Kit, which is a UK retailer who actually stock T-Rex Arms, the only one I've found so far. So, this was the first holster that I picked up. This is a T-Rex Arms Ragnarok Glock19 holster. I bought it because I wanted a passive retention holster. I don't really like the active retention holsters so much. So I wanted something that was passive, but that was also going to be very sturdy and very thick. So I don't know if you can see here, but this is actually some really thick Kydex that they've used. It's very, very solid, and you can this has been scraped down walls, and you can barely tell. It's held up incredibly well. I did go for the Safariland attaching method on on both of these other ones as well, simply because some of these pistols are quite expensive, and I don't want them to get dropped or smashed or lost. So yes, you could probably say don't go with a passive retention holster if you're worried about losing it, but yeah, this is the method that I go for. So let's talk about some of the retention that you actually get from these and why I find them to be pretty good. So let's start off here. This is a Tokyo Marui Glock19 with a Guns Modify frame. So in the last couple of years, TM actually revised the size of the Glock. So they've made the frame ever so slightly thinner, whereas before it was a 40 cal size, and these are actually now a true 9mm size, which is great. These are advertised to be able to take 40 caliber size, but you actually end up loosening off these 3 screws to the point where they rattle around, so not ideal. But as you can hear, that's really clicky, positive retention. Great. So next up here, we've got a WE Glock19. Bit of a tighter fit, but it does go all the way in. It doesn't have that like pop of engaging. It's just sort of resistance all the way on that one. Next up, bog standard stock, pretty beat up Tokyo Marui Glock 26. No issues. Not very good retention. I reckon a couple of sharp jolts and that would come out, but I'm not going to carry that on my hip, am I? That's way more likely to go in there. Anyway, sorry, as we keep moving around, here's my 19. This is a KSC Glock19. Again, you get that little pop as it goes in with this one. Just seems to love 19s, this holster. Doesn't really like anything else. So this is a Tokyo Marui, but it's got a Garda lower and a Garda steel slide. Again, this one again, it's just friction all the way. There's no part of it that's positively clicking and engaging, but it is tight. So I'm not actually going to complain about that. I've got all the other bits on here, so I can quickly shove it in there and show you that. This does fit. This is a Loki tactical slide made by Ready Fighter. It's made to the original TM spec, and it does fit perfectly well. So this fits into this one really well. And last but not least, the one that you might be curious about. So this is supposed to be, because the AAP-01 made by Action Army takes Glock mags. Will it fit in a holster designed for a Glock? Yeah. Give it a shove. Again, it's not clicky retention, it's more just friction that's retaining it, but it does retain it. So that's an important one to note. Right, I'm just going to pop this to one side, move on to the next one here. So I had a few more problems with this one. I never got quite as good a fit with anything. So I have two different, in fact, no, I have three different Surefires here. This is a replica Surefire X300 A. This is a replica Surefire X300 V. And this is a genuine Surefire X300 Ultra. B version, so the one with the thumb screw. If you get a choice, always get the one with the thumb screw, because you can attach it onto rails and it doesn't wobble or anything. It's really good. Anyway, another video for that. So let's start off. Remember, Tokyo Marui Glock19 with Guns Modify bits on. Again, it's not, this time it's not clicking in. So on the other holster it would just click in, but on this one, no dice, just smooth, all the way in, all the way out. That's okay. On the 18, again, gets to about here, doesn't really want to go any further. I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on that. So again, these two screws here would have to get loosened off again, to the point that you can almost see how far down the threading I am already on these, so how much I've already loosened it off. It's not going to work. Next up, 34. Again, gets to about here, kind of stops. Doesn't really want to go any further. I'll tell you what, just by way of example. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the AAP or the Glock26 because neither of them have a front rail. When I do pick up a front rail for this, I can do a little follow-up video for you. So, again, this is one of the setups that I would normally go with. Great retention on here. Again, it doesn't pop in. It just has a lot of tension, but it means that you're basically not going to lose it. So that's gone over this one here and this one here. So we've got two left. We've got probably the coolest actually out of both of them, out of all of them, are these ones. So we've got the suppressor holster and the inside the waistband holster. So let me just, so here we go with a this is a Garda lightweight pistol suppressor. So the way this works is you almost line the torch up and push it down, and as you can see, the end of the torch actually comes to about here, but it doesn't want to tip out. You can see the wings here kind of doing what they're supposed to do and stopping the entire thing from tipping forward, and it is doing that. However, still doesn't want to come out. So even though I haven't got a suppressor on here, that actually gives me a nicer draw than I get from this one. By the way, I spray painted this, that's why it's a different colour. That's not the colour that it comes in, that's the T-Rex Arms green. So anyway, so this is actually great. Again, they do two versions of this. They do one which is basically compatible for all Glocks, and they do another version which is basically for every other pistol that I've got. So I need to pick up the other version. I can show you guys that. But actually, this is probably my favourite so far. Yeah, good bit of kit. So, on with the last one. So, and again, this is seriously cool. This is going to be for you milsim guys, anyone that's basically going to have their guns taken off them and might want to conceal carry. Yeah. And yes, despite the mag lips on there, there's your package. So I'll do a video at some point of showing you how this conceals and how it actually looks. But suffice to say, there's a little bit of tension on this, but if I go for a 19, completely floppy, perfect, exactly what you want. Again, 26, and even, yes, you can conceal carry a cheeky Glock 18. But more of you will probably have one of these. Yes, you can conceal carry your AAP in one of the T-Rex arms inside the waistband holsters. Pretty cool. The actual retention on it, again, I mean, you can tighten these ones up a little bit more, but it tends to be for the airsoft guns, you have to loosen these, and you do end up. Okay, this one you can see here. This is actually done up a bit tighter, especially when you compare it to like here, how much I've had to loosen that one off, and how little I've loosened this one off. So that's loosened right off, and that isn't. So yeah, I've had a few more problems with this one. Not been quite as keen on it. Maybe that was a foolish purchase. This one I love. It's brilliant. And if I'm ever going out in the woods, this is the one to go for. It gives really nice retention, and the fact that you can put your pistol in it and then tighten it down a little bit means that you're always going to be satisfied that it's going to be secure. So there is one last thing on the table which you may have spotted that I haven't actually talked about yet, and that is this here. This is the a Surefire X300 V. So compared to the other one, you can see it's a touch longer. So how does this compare? There you go. So you can see that it goes, instead of stopping about here, it actually goes all the way up to the end here. And again, it's slightly more keen to come out, but it's still pretty secure. And there was one more. Oh yeah, here we go. So an X300 V. As you can see, it actually sticks out a tiny bit from the bottom of that holster. So, out of everything in front of you, I think probably if you were going to buy one holster that you wanted to do everything, I'd probably go for this one. It's the one that I now use the most. I do have a couple of torches, so it may be something where you don't have a torch, you don't have an X300 or a replica X300 like on here, so you might have to go out and pick one up. But the fact that these three very much restrict you, you know, this is Glock only. This is, well, and AAP, as we found out. Again, Glock only. Again, Glock only. This and the other version, the Type B, are the only ones where you've actually got an opportunity to get any pistol that's got a front rail. So, you know, for example, here's an FNX 45. If I was to put an X300 on here, so there we go, that's nice and secure. Despite the fact it's a big ass pistol, it's still in there, and in a pinch, you know, I'm running around and it's got some movement, but I haven't lost it. It's not actually wanting to, it's not wanting to come out until you draw it. So yeah, this is going to be my shout for my favourite T-Rex Arms holster, just because it's the most universal and it's the only one where, yeah, it works with more than it says it's going to. It's not supposed to work with this, but it kind of does. You might be able to see there's a bit of a scrape down the side of my my pistol here. You can kind of see it there. That's all from inserting it into holsters that are too tight. So I don't know. These ones may hold your gun slightly better, but they also might damage the look. So I don't know if you're particular about how your guns look, then you may not want one of those. But yeah, this is my shout. Works with replicas, works with replica Vs, As, Bs, everything, and it also works with the real Surefire torches as well. So I hope you found this little guide useful for your T-Rex Arms compatibility. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, and until the next time, I'll see you on the next video.